Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dallas Daily Show, coming at you from the Neighborhood Loan Studio here in St. Louis, Missouri. You know what time it is. You know what day it is. It's one of my favorite days of the week. It is the Midweek MindSHIFT episode. And today we're going to talk about overcoming resistance in becoming future you. So let's go ahead and get into the conversation. All right, everybody, welcome to the Midweek MindShift conversation. On these Midweek MindShifts, we talk a lot about the two versions of future you that are out there in your potential in your future. You could head on a trajectory of a future you that you want to avoid. This is the future you that's sick, that's unhealthy, that has the broken relationships, that's in debt. Like basically when you think about a future you don't want, it's that. All right. So that's the future you want to avoid. And a lot of us find ourselves on that trajectory over and over and over again because we're reliving the same mindset. And we might make minor adjustments to it, but all in all, the old triggers, the old beliefs, the old behaviors keep us locked in this cycle and in this trajectory toward a future we want to avoid. Now, the flip side of that is over here, the future you that you want to become. This is the future version of you that you're like, man, when I think of my bright future, when I think of how I want to be spiritually, physically, relationally, professionally, emotionally, mentally, financially, right? Socially, all of these things, this is the future version of you that you love. The future version of you that excites you, that ignites you, and you say, how do I become that person? Well, it takes more than a mindset. We know now it takes a mind shift. And if you want to learn about those 5 steps to the mind shift, we do have those in the show notes below of that original 5-step mind shift series. You can always join one of our future you 5-day challenges as well. But basically the mind shift is, how do I get the new programming of the version I want to become and begin to believe and behave like that version of me now in the present? See, the mindset keeps us locked in old triggers, beliefs, and behaviors on this side. But once we shift over and we begin to adopt the new beliefs and behaviors, no longer reacting, but now responding as the future version we want, we actually get on that trajectory and we start to become that person. We start to actualize that person. In that journey, though, there are usually about 3, maybe 4 or 5 problems that we can run into, kind of resistance things that we can run into, because ultimately what we want to do is we have to start beta testing this new version of us. We have to start actualizing this new version, kind of have to start doing a demo of it. You know, you've seen that when they roll out a software company, they will roll out a beta test first. They get feedback. They kind of work out the kinks, work out the bugs, work out the tweaks, and then they roll it out a little bit more and roll it out then to the general public as like, hey, this is our new software. Here's our new upgrade. Enjoy, right? And everybody, the masses, get to see the enjoyable version, not the version that's working out the beta test and the kinks and the demos, right? Usually, that's what happens with us as well. We start to say, this is the version. We're designing this future version of who we want to become. And we say, this is how I want to think and how I want to act and how I want to behave in my key relationships, in my social circles, with my coworkers, with my boss. I want to be this new version of ourselves. But resistance happens as we roll out the beta test. And that resistance, it causes resistance in relationships. We also feel the tension in our typical environments, right? Certain situations drag us back down into old thinking, into old ways of believing and behaving. So let's talk for just a couple of minutes here about some of those like 3, 4, maybe 5 things that are going to give you a little bit of that resistance or the problems you're going to have, the bugs that you're going to have to work out, right? crashes in the system when you're beta testing this new version of future you. And then in a few minutes after that, we're going to talk about 3 keys to actually running that demo successfully on that future version of yourself. So that's going to be the conversation. That's going to be the topic point for today. So let's get into some of these problems that you're going to have when beta testing the first one, beta testing the new future you. The first one is this. You're going to have some identity whiplash. All right. There's going to be a little bit of a crack in the neck sort of thing. You're going to realize that there's a version of you that you want to become, and it's exciting and it's enticing. However, you don't yet fully believe it. You haven't fully embodied it personally. So maybe you kind of start to act. The first place you got to roll out the demo reel is at home, right? It's in that safe space of, hey, I'm no longer going to eat this way. So I'm going to start eating this way, or hey, I'm going to start making sure I get more exercise, or hey, I'm going to make sure we start dressing a little different, feeling a little different. But that familiar environment is one of the first places where you can have a little bit of, number one, identity whiplash, where you're going to fall into old beliefs and old patterns really easily. You know what? It is easy to lay on the couch at night and eat the snacks. Or you know what? It is easy to lay in my warm, comfortable bed and not do what I said I was going to do as far as getting on the exercise and getting that taken care of. So there's kind of this first beta test glitch you're going to discover is personally within yourself. You don't fully believe the new version of you quite yet. And that's going to cause a little bit of an identity whiplash. So we have to be very careful that we really focus on what we're saying to ourselves. Again, if we think about the 5 steps of becoming future you, that middle step, that vocalized step, again, that's all in the show notes, guys, if you want to watch that whole series. But that vocalized step is so key and so crucial, because if we're saying, hey, I can't wait to be super healthy, but then a dozen times a day we're like, I don't want to prepare the healthy meal. I don't really want to work out. Ugh, I don't like being sore. Ugh, I don't want to get up early today. Oh, my bed feels so comfortable. Like if we're sending ourselves all of those mini messages, is it any wonder that we're having this like whiplash inside of our brain? So that's kind of number 1, is personal identity whiplash. Number 2 is going to be more social resistance, because you're going to try and put this new version of yourself out in several of your social circles. It could be at work. It could be with your friends, right? It could be with your larger family circle. It could be with a church group. It could be just with golf buddies. I don't know where that would be for you, but there will be friends, there will be family, there will be colleagues that are going to feel a little strange once you've settled the identity issue for you personally, and then you start moving out and you start becoming the new you. They're going to be way more comfortable with the old you. So there's going to be some natural resistance that's going to come along with that. All right. And that's going to kind of lead into this third version of this fake it till you make it. So we've kind of got the personal identity, and then we've got a little bit of social resistance. And third, we've got this like, do I really want to fake it? Am I being a fake? Am I fearing not coming across as authentic me, because you're demo testing a new version of you? And so it's going to feel a little odd to you too. But what's going to happen with these social relationships is if you feel a little fake there, most people start to use phrases like, well, you know, hey, you're not drinking with us anymore, John? Well, I'm trying to be a little healthier. Trying to be a little healthier. What are you wearing, all new clothes now? What is this? What are you wearing, suits around us now, Tony? Well, I'm trying to dress a little better. And so we kind of eke our way with a little fear of being fake. We just tell people we're trying something. And that social resistance met with that fear of being fake is going to be really detrimental to fully embracing this new identity. Instead of saying, I'm trying to, what we have to say is, yeah, guys, you know what? I'm starting to upgrade some areas of my life. Or you know what? I have decided I want to be healthier. I have decided that I want to be an upgraded version of me. It's a much more powerful language versus, well, you know, guys, I'm trying something. I'm trying to eat a little healthier. I'm trying not to drink as much. I'm trying to work out a little bit more. I'm trying. You're going to fail. Instead, you have to embrace the new identity in front of them. And you put your shoulders back and you go, yeah, you know what? I decided that I was headed toward a future I didn't want. So I've made some changes. I've decided I'm going to start eating healthier. I've decided I've chosen to start dressing better so to upgrade my look and feel. And you just tell them what you've decided, right? Because otherwise, trying is kind of that inconsistent, you're not all in. I'm trying it. That's not all in. You need consistent reinforcement, and you get them to get on board with you of the I have decided, period. I have decided ... maybe, right? And then the other thing that we do, so we kind of got this, number one, let's review really quickly. We've got this identity whiplash. You're not quite believing it yet yourself, but then you start to work it out in your home. And you're like, all right, I'm ready to roll this out to a small audience, friends, colleagues, family. You start rolling it out and you get resistance. And in that resistance, you kind of fear being fake, so you shirk back a little bit. You diminish the greatness of who you're becoming, and you shirk back and you say, I'm just trying. No, you have to decide. That's a big part of it. So kind of number two, social resistance. Don't fear being fake. Don't try anything because that'll be inconsistent reinforcement, right? That could technically be like 3 and 4. Being fake and inconsistent reinforcement, and you just say, no, I have decided. And then you move forward with your life, this new version of yourself, even if it makes them uncomfortable. And then kind of this third problem that we run into is we are waiting for permission from people. Who are you waiting for permission from? You don't need approval to become this new version of yourself. You don't need someone to validate your change. That's not what these people are about. The reality is no one is going to believe it until you believe it and until you become it. They don't have a lot of faith that people can change. Why? Because they would have changed themselves a long time ago. So they're taking I'll believe it when I see it approach, and you're going to say, I'm going to see it, I'm going to believe it, and then I'm going to be it, and they're just going to have to accept it. So inconsistent reinforcement, I'm trying stuff. No, decide, and then you say, that's it. I give myself permission to be the future me, to be the new me, to be the one I want to be. And all of these people, they're going to catch up. They may be what we call in the marketing world, or what we would call in the software world, a late adopter, but nonetheless, once it's on Main Street, baby, they're going to adopt you as well as like, man, this is the new version of you because you quit trying, you quit waiting for permission, you leaned into the resistance and you said, no, I'm going to be fully who I want to be. I believe it, I see it, I decide that I'm going to do it, and doggone it, I start living that thing out. So that's kind of some of the resistance we can push on or feel as we're becoming this future version of ourselves. And in just a minute, we're going to talk about kind of some of the keys of running this game a little more strongly for yourself. But before we do that, let's hear a word from our sponsors. Hey everybody, I just want to give a quick shout out to our studio sponsor here at Neighborhood Loans Studio in St. Louis, Missouri. If you're in the market for a new home, look no further. Their 5-star team is excellent. They can help you get what you need. And I can personally connect you with their team, or you can check out their website, neighborhoodloans.com. Again, that's neighborhoodloans.com, or feel free to call them 314-658-9400. Again, that's 314-658-9400. And even though the studio's located here in St. Louis, Missouri, they can service you nationwide. So trust me when I say you are in the best hands with Neighborhood Loans. If you are a business professional and you're looking to lose 25 to 50 pounds of that stubborn belly fat over the next 90 days, I want to tell you about one of the programs from our sponsors, the Shed Fat Fast program with Joel Staley. Joel has helped over 1,500 clients lose all of that fat, get in the best shape of their life. And he does it with a proprietary fasting protocol that's guaranteed to get you results without giving up the food that you love. I know it works because I'm in the program right now, and I'm telling you, this thing is getting me results. I know it can get you results as well. He's got a free training for you. Go to shedfatfast.com. That's shedfatfast.com. Check out his free training. And when you call in, be sure and mention that you heard about it from the Dallas Daily Show. All right, so we've gotten into this idea of some of the resistance we can meet, right? First, that identity whiplash in our own self. And then there's that social resistance. There's definitely the friends, the family, the colleagues. Was just talking with some guys about it inside of our Joel Staley program, which you heard about in the ads there. Talking with some of them about it, and they said even with a spouse, you can't just be like, well, this is the new me, I got to move forward. Yet you're right. And we're going to talk about 3 keys to kind of rolling out this demoed version of the new you here, so that especially people like your spouse can get on board. Because if that person isn't on board, you're going to have more resistance than you would from your friends. So if we said earlier, internal whiplash is where you're not fully believing it yet. The first step in running this new version of yourself is actually internal alignment. So you have to own it before others will. You have to fully accept this new identity, right? You have to fully own this version of the future you. You've heard me say this on MindSHIFT calls before, everybody. You have to love the idea of who you can become so much that, like a hero that you want to be as a kid, oh my gosh, I want to be so-and-so, right? That kid hero thing that we all had, the new version of you has to become your hero. And you have to adopt this like childlike fascination to act like them so much and to be like them so much. And oh my gosh, I can't wait to be that version of me, that you fully accept that new identity before you could ever expect anyone else to. So you have to start to speak like that person. You have to start to act like that person. And here's a really important one. You have to start to make decisions as if you were that version of you. See, because that version of you who's living healthy, who's living happy, who's living free, who's living in the prosperity that you want to be, that version of you, I just realized that kind of rhymed as soon as I finished that sentence. Sorry, everybody. My brain went into rhyming mode there. But that version of who you want to be is so key. Doggone it. Now I'm in the rhyme lock, Taylor. She's over here laughing at me. That version of who you want to be, it's so key that you start to behave like them. And actually, this is something I'm saying to myself now. The other night, I was tempted to eat some crap that was sitting in the cabinet because the mom had gotten it for the boys. And I literally picked it up. It was a Kit Kat, by the way. I picked up the Kit Kat, and I actually had this moment where I said, hey, future me, what would we do right now? And I laughed. And I was like, we know what we'd do. And I set the Kit Kat back down and I moved on with my life. Not what I wanted to do in the moment. The impulse was I want to do that. But I had to stop and actually say, hey, future Dallas, what decision would we make here? And so I had to speak and act and make decisions as future me under the present resilience and the present temptation. Does that make sense? So first thing for these 3 keys is, number 1, internal alignment. You have to believe it before anybody else ever will. The second thing is consistent embodiment. All right, so then you start to behave more consistently. We've heard people say this in the past. We've heard self-help gurus, and we've heard business coaches, and all of these people who are great leaders will say this idea of, don't tell me what you're planning to do, show me your results. That's kind of what it is. The more consistently we embody the new version of us, small repeated actions, small daily choices, small little shifts in how we think and act and behave even in front of these people. We don't walk into these environments and announce, hey, everybody, I've decided this is the change I'm making. And you do decide. You don't go, I'm trying it out, right? You don't go in and announce it. Don't tell me what you plan to do. Let me see it by the results I start seeing, because then I become witness to the transformation. I start looking at you going, John, what are you doing differently? Hey, Kimberly, what are you doing differently? Something's different about you. You seem to have a little bit more of a posture. Oh man, I like this new leadership side of you. I'm starting to see a little bit. Wow, you're looking healthier. Like, people will start to see the change, but you first have to embody it consistently. Because if you do it for 2 or 3 days, that's not going to cut it. If you do it for even 1 week, that isn't going to cut it. You have to shift your language, not I'm trying to, nope, this is just who I am now. And then you also shift your actions to, nope, this is just what I do now. Then people start to receive the results of those actions, and then they'll say, hey, what are you doing? And then you get to tell them. Right? So many times we tell people what we're going to do and we embody it inconsistently that then we just prove their point. Nobody ever really changes. And it reinforces to them they haven't changed either. You're not going to change. I'm not going to change. Whatever. This is all garbage. Or you embody it to where they see the change and then they ask, and that's when you can say, yeah, I decided a month or 2 ago that this is the way I was living now. And then like, whoa, tell me more, right? They break into a Grease musical number and they want to hear all about these changes you've made. So number 1, internal alignment. Number 2, consistent embodiment. And this, I kind of hinted at the conversation with some of the Shed Fat Fast guys. This is a great place where you can actually ask your spouse for help. As you're rolling this out in the home, you can say, hey, babe, I'm talking like I'm talking to my wife right now, okay? So whatever you call your spouse, hey, sweetheart, hey, chump, whatever your thing is, right? For me, it's like, hey, babe, I'm going to be doing this change, and I'm going to roll it out here at home. This is what I've decided. This is who I think I can be. This is who I can be for you. This is how I can be better for the kids. This is how I can be a better father. And I want to know, can you support me in this? Will you be willing to watch me embody this change? And will you help me do it consistently? When I'm weak, can you help be my strength? Then they're buying in to who you want to become. And they're seeing it as an opportunity to elevate the entire family, not just you getting better at their own, at the price of them, at the expense of them in the relationship. No, you're getting better to be better for them, to raise and elevate the waterline in your own home. And that can happen then in your work. That can happen then with your friends. That can happen with your colleagues, right? So number 1, internal alignment. Number 2, consistent embodiment. And then the third one is resilience against the resistance. If you expect a little pushback, you're going to be ready for it and you're just going to keep going. Now, you're not going to be a jerk about it. You're just going to go, nope, I understand. Like, the empathy position is, the narcissist position is, nope, I have changed and I don't care what you think, right? That's the narcissist position. The empathy position is one more of like, I understand that people are going to have some discomfort in this new version of me. I'll explain it as I go along. There's going to be discomfort for them. There's going to be discomfort for me. But who I'm becoming is more crucial. So I'm going to stay consistent anyway. And I'm actually going to invite them into the upgrade. See, most people resist because they feel as though you're elevating above them and somehow they're going to be lesser than. No. Invite them into the adventure. Hey, this is who I've become. This is who I'm on the journey to becoming. I've decided this is what I want for my future. I'd love to do that with you too. You want help with it? We could be accountability partners, right? Let me be your accountability buddy in that situation, right? Invite them into it. You stay consistent over time. They'll see your results, but then when they ask you about it, they're going to ask with a little bit of cynicism and quite a bit of resistance, but the empathy in you is going to go, look, it's possible for me. It's possible for you. Are there places in your life that you want to upgrade? And then all of a sudden you're using your power to lift other people up higher. It's an amazing, beautiful thing. And it reinforces that you, my friend, are an agent of transformation in the lives of other people. And what better thing is there to be in the earth than to be an agent of transformation for people? So let them see your transformation. Let them then ask about it. You tell them what you've decided, and then you invite them into a journey of their own and invite them to be an accountability partner and invite them into who they ultimately want to become, because people want champions. They want heroes. And the more you shift, the more you change, the more aligned you are, the less resistance you'll feel over time, the more the beta test rollout becomes a global new version of your operating system of who you are. And the more people are drawn to say, ooh, I want to be like that. Now, there may be a few people, and I'm over time here, so I'm going to stop in just a minute. There may be a few people who can't take the journey with you. That's okay. They may stop at level 2.0 of you. Other people may go to level 3.0, level 4.0, level 5.0, all the way to wanting their own future you. You could introduce them to this pod. What the heck? You might as well. And what they could say is I want to join that journey. Other people may not be able to, but you're always inviting. You're always empathetic. You always understand there'll be resistance. And you just say, it's okay, because who I'm becoming is going to draw the right people anyway. So that's it. That's all I got for you, my friends. Stay in the internal alignment. Get consistent embodiment of it. Have that resilience over the resistance, and know that that's going to be part of who you're becoming as you fully embrace, fully embody, and fully manifest in your present, your future you. So that's what I got for you today, my friends. Go out there. Have a championship day.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more tools, go to DallasDailyShow.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.